Joining me now is Kian Xie. He is a health quality analyst and a health coach certified by the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. He's based in Southern New England. Welcome to the show, Kian.
Hi, Wendy. Good to be here.
Yes, great to see you. So, this episode, we're talking about allergies. And I know that you've had an experience where you've been able to, I think, improve, maybe eliminate some seasonal
hmm
allergies. So, I'd love to hear your story and what you're doing.
Yeah, totally. So I've been exploring just all kinds of ways to use herbal medicines and supplements slash nutraceuticals for a lot of different issues. And one of the easiest things to address in my life has actually been seasonal allergies.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, there's actually multiple routes you can go down if you want to do that. I can share what works for me. Everybody can choose what works best for them. And of course, it also depends on your budget because, in my experience, there is an expensive way to do it, and then there's a cheaper way to do it, but it takes a little bit more patience.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
so, which do you think I should start with?
um, maybe let's start with the one that works well but might be kind of costly. Let's start with that.
Sure. So there is this supplement, and I don't endorse a particular brand. I'm just showing these to show kind of what they look like.
Sure.
It's called quercetin, quercetin dihydrate, and it's sold in a lot of different forms. You can get it in pills, but I actually find it best, most cost effective, and actually most effective to get the bulk powder. Um,
Okay.
so let's see if I can open this up and show what it looks like because it's like this neon. What it is, it's a flavonoid. It's an antioxidant. It's found in a lot of fruits and vegetables, like red onion contains it, and a lot of other vegetables have small amounts. But when you take it in this concentrated form, it is
Ooh,
like this
that's
bright
bright.
neon yellow stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's real concentrated. So because it is so concentrated and the source is fruits and vegetables, it's a very expensive supplement. It's a little less expensive when you get it as a powder, which is what I really recommend. But it's weird because it's not like a spice. It's not like turmeric or anything where you can sprinkle it in food or even dissolve it in water. In fact, if you put it in water or juice, it will not dissolve. So
Oh,
the two methods that I use to take this, one is take a big spoonful and put it in a smoothie, anywhere from half a teaspoon to a heaping teaspoon, depending on how severe your allergies are. You can put it in a smoothie and blend it, and that works pretty well. There's no taste. Or not for the faint of heart, but I just got used to doing this. You just take a spoonful and you shove it in your mouth, and then you wash
okay.
it down with water. But watch out; it's gonna stain the outsides of your lips. So it's kind of fun, kind of messy, but it really works when I am having an episode of seasonal allergies and I take this. It stops it instantly within seconds.
Wow. Have you
Um,
ever had an experience where you've taken too much? Is it possible to take too much and have an ill effect?
Probably. I have personally not taken more than a teaspoon at a time, and you really don't need to. It's pretty potent. I would say I would recommend to anybody start small and see how you do.
Okay, right.
Don't go, like some people, I think it's easy, especially when your problems are really severe, to try to do as much as possible, like as many things as possible and as large a quantity because you really just want to attack it.
Hmm.
But with something like this, you really should not take too much. It works even if you just take a little bit.
Okay.
So a quarter teaspoon or a half teaspoon to start. And if it doesn't work, feel free to take a little bit more, but it really doesn't take much.
Sure. And so you had seasonal allergies, or I guess would we say you still have them?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they crop up, and then you start taking a supplement like this, and you find relief.
Well, so the thing with seasonal allergies is I don't know if it's possible to get rid of them permanently because every year there are different pollens and
Mhm.
different, like slightly different allergens in the air. And because of pollution, every year allergies can get worse. So you can be
Mhm.
done with them for a whole year and feel like the whole season goes by and you're fine, but next year can come around and you'll find yourself allergic again.
Right.
But there are ways to kind of take it like a more long-term approach. And that comes through a combination of eating a good diet, anti-inflammatory diet, making sure you have good fats in your diet as well. And then there's a couple of other supplements that this quercetin, it works great, but it can be really expensive. On the cheaper side, this one is really good. It's called MSM. And this is just a cheap brand called Doctor's Best, but I don't endorse any brands. You can get this through a variety of brands. You can also get this as a powder, but it tastes pretty nasty. So don't put this in a smoothie. I really like the capsules for this stuff, but there is actually a documented method that a lot of people have tried where you start taking one like a pill of this a day, which in this case is around 1,000 milligrams, so 1 gram a day, and then you gradually work yourself up to 5 grams a day over the course of 6 weeks. So you got to ramp it up. Don't do it right away, because this actually has a detoxing effect. It can create some headaches and discomfort if you do too much exercise. So I'm again giving the same warning with any supplements or nutraceuticals. Always take it slow to start, especially if it's new and you don't know how it responds with your body. Start with 1, go for a few days, see how you do, then ramp up to 2, 3. And it takes a few weeks for this to really take effect. But in a lot of people's experience, including mine, once you have ramped up to the max amount and you're there for about a week, that actually can take care of your allergies for the whole season.
Wow.
And your whole body just kind of adapts, your mucous membranes adapt. And you feel different. Just overall, you feel different. And there's a lot of other benefits. It's really great for skin, hair, nails, and joints. Like this really cuts down on body pain and inflammation.
Wow.
And besides, the only caveat I will give with this, besides starting slow and ramping up, is really make sure you stay hydrated. Because in anything that is going to help your body naturally, but some things more than others, it is going to detox you. It's going to start flushing things out that you didn't even know were there. If you don't drink water, you're going to feel the negative effects of that before it gets better.
Oh, I see.
So, I mean, drinking liquids, really good quality water is always good advice, no matter what you're doing, which also helps.
Right, helps kind of flush things out. So, so that MSM is another alternative, or would someone need to take both of these herbs? Or I guess they have to experiment a little bit.
You can take one or the other or both. It really just depends on how fast you want results. This is like really a slow approach. And if you combine it with nettle, so I have like a nettle tea here, but this also grows. It'll probably be growing in your backyard if you know how to identify herbs. So this, the herbal side is really interesting. So this is like a good quality commercial nettle tea. But like it just happens to be a good brand that you can buy in the store, but there are lots of other places you can get it. You can get it from your local herbalist as well, or harvest it from the wild, from your own backyard, or cultivate it. But the cool thing about nettle is it's really a food. It is related to spinach, and it's something that when people were more eating weeds and other wild plants that grew, nettle was a very popular soup. So you kind of like cook it, you blend it up, and you eat it. It's kind of like a pea soup. It might, it's not like, it's not the most friendly if you're not used to eating that kind of stuff, but it is edible technically. And the other aspect of the plant is, if you've ever pulled up a stinging nettle, there are little stingers on the stem. And that whole plant kind of gives you that feeling of itchy scratchiness, abrasiveness. And in herbalism, like if you're in the homeopathic world, or just a Western herbalist, a lot of the time we look at the qualities of the plant and how it grows to give us clues to how it will behave in our body. So that like itchy, scratchy, stingy feeling of the nettle reminds us of having those itchy seasonal allergies. And that is also what nettle happens to be really good at supporting. But it's another one of those remedies that works great if you do it consistently every day and over time, and you'll see it just build up naturally the more you do it.
Wow. So tell me how your seasonal allergies, how they were before you tried these things and how they are now.
I would have times where I was like totally puffed up, like my eyes would be itchy and like there would be tears flowing from my eyes. I'd just be constantly rubbing my eyes and they would get red. I would take Benadryl, but of course I would fall asleep and it didn't even work all the time. Claritin only kind of worked half of the time, and I really didn't like to be taking pills. Like, it just didn't
Right.
sit right with me to always be taking a pill every day. I'd be getting like an itchy nose, stuffiness. It like literally looked like I had a cold, but it was just allergies, or like I was crying, and people say, "Why are
Right.
you crying?" "Oh, it's just
Right.
allergies." It really, really is just allergies.
Uh-huh.
So I remember years ago, before I start like even knew anything about herbs and supplements, I would have these really bad attacks. But I actually started taking these like anti-inflammatory supplements and like immune modulating supplements for another reason. I was
Mhm.
dealing with a chronic autoimmune disease, so I wasn't
Right.
really trying to get rid of my allergies. But a side effect of taking these herbs and supplements and also improving my diet was that I noticed my allergies just got so much better, from like totally puffed up attack to very, very mild.
Wow.
At some moments they wouldn't even be present at all.
Nice. So it was just sort of a byproduct of trying to heal something else, a really
Yeah, I
positive
mean,
outcome. Yeah.
totally. I mean, when you take a natural route at trying to heal yourself, as you know, Wendy, I mean,
Mhm.
because you've had like a similar experience, when you support your body, it's not really a thing about curing a specific disease. It's about supporting your health. It's about
Right.
enabling better health in all ways. So if you get better in one way, that's going to lift you up in other ways as too.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Well, how can people get in touch with you?
You can find me on LinkedIn or Facebook. I'm very open to new connections on social media these days.
Mhm.
Um, and I will be sharing some updates pretty soon about some projects that I'm working on to help enable more change in the healthcare system and bring in
Wonderful.
some new innovations and services that we all need.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, great to see you, Wendy.
You too.